Oh, we used it last Tuesday. Okay, good. All righty. I thought we did. Okay, we are recording the frequently used statistics formulas. That's a pretty good example of things we're going to be using. So I want you to print that out. I just put it on the handy dandy Teams page. So when you go to Teams and you go to General, go up to the top and hit Files, and you'll see where I added. I'm also going to add a spreadsheet today after class. So right now we're in chapter 3. We're starting chapter 3 today, and we're going to have a little bit of a prayer meeting today because some of y'all aren't. We're not communicating. I don't know what the problem is, but some of y'all haven't finished chapter 1 homework yet. So I don't know. Can somebody tell me what the problem is, or a little bit of LAD, or maybe PAD, procrastinating ass disorder, or what? I don't know. But some of y'all need to get on the ball. I'm on chapter 3. Okay. Also, let me talk about something else. Although this is on the second day of class video that most of you should have watched, I'm getting all kinds of email. When's the unit 1 test? And I don't reply to those texts or those emails. I think I've gotten 3 messages, whether it be text or whether it be email, whichever. 3 messages from this class. When will we have the unit 1 test? Hell, I don't know. I don't know when we're going to have it. Look at your outline. Where are we? We're on chapter 3. We're starting chapter 3 today. How many sections do we have in your outline on chapter 3? Somebody look. Somebody entertain me by looking at your outline and tell me how many sections in chapter 3 do we have?
4.
4. Wow. So maybe we need to make, this is a 2-hour class. So maybe another couple of days, maybe. And what else? What else on the second day of class videos that I told each of y'all to watch? What does Hubert do before he assigns the dates for the homework and the test? What do I do?
Review.
I go over the what?
Material.
I go over the test. So when you send me a text message or an email that asks me, when's the unit test? You're basically hanging a sign around your neck that says, I haven't watched any of the damn videos you told me to watch. That's basically what you're saying. That's why I don't reply. Okay. Now, that being said, watch the damn video. All right. So here we go. Let's go to the handy dandy spreadsheet. Now, why do I use the spreadsheet? Because I want all of y'all to master the spreadsheet. No. I use the spreadsheet because it's a way for me to get all of the math on one screen. Because I'm going to be honest with you. If you are relying on me to get all of the instruction on this little sheet of paper, that ain't happening, because I won't be able to do it because I write all over the place. So what I do is I use the spreadsheet so it can get everything on one page. So I've already fixed this spreadsheet. You can go ahead and write it down. I've already made n is equal to 7. Now I'm probably going to cover the first couple of sections of chapter 3 today. And that's going to be, and I'll write it down for you. That's going to be mean, median, mode, range, mid-range, and I probably will get to variance and standard deviation today. Since we are a 2-hour class, I probably will get to standard deviation and variance toward the end of the 2 hours. Okay? But Miss Woodward, that does, I commend you. Your little whiteboard back there, and it's got it all division. That means organization, time management. That's commendable.
Thank you.
I'm not going to give you too
get
many.
things done.
Well, no, you're supposed to make excuses and, you know, say that your house got hit by lightning and your grandmother died 5 times. That's how you get away. That's how you get by in life, Miss Woodward. All right, so this is basically going to cover 3.1 through 3.3. I can't remember. They changed these. One book will have 3.1 through 3.5. Then another book will have 3.1 through 3.4. So I can't remember what this book does. Y'all said 3.4 or 3.5. What did y'all say? The outline. What did it say? 3.4?
I think it's the 3.5, but then the 3.3 isn't there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm okay, 3.2 then. And then 3.3 and 3.5 or 3.4 and 3.5, I think, are z-scores and quartiles and 5-number summary. And we'll probably go over that probably Thursday. Okay? So now, why am I doing all this information? Because most of y'all since the 6th, 7th grade have done a little bit of this. Okay, my son is in the 7th grade and he's doing this. So I know for a fact that y'all know how to do the mean because you know how to figure your grade at the end of the semester. Okay, I know y'all know how to do the mode because that's the one that shows up the most. So, you know, a lot of this, most of the time, this is the only 2 that y'all don't know how to do. The variance and the standard deviation. And we're going to go through that right now. Or we're going to go through the first 4 or 5. Okay? So with that being said, the mean, and you can go to your handy dandy right here. And you can go down. There's your mean right there. So you can write that down or you can highlight it. Some of you may even, listen to this, some of y'all may have even printed out that sheet before I called y'all into class. You know, it's amazing. Okay, so highlight that. Now, if you notice, the population mean is the same as the sample mean. The only difference is sample mean has regular letters. What does population mean have? Greek letters, Hubert. Mu, Greek letters. Okay, regular letter, X bar, Greek letter. So if you're asked this on a test, then that's going to be a sample. If you're asked mu, then that's going to be population. Population is always the biggest group. All right, so the mean is equal to the summation of x over n. Median. Median is the calculated what? Middle. Mode is what shows up the what?
Post.
Can you have more than one mode? Yes. Is the mode very important? No. Range. Highest minus what?
Post.
Lowest. Mid-range. Highest plus the lowest divided by 2. Now, all of that is on, I'm sorry, I can't talk. This is the vodka. Look, most of that, look at there. Can you believe that? All of those formulas are on this sheet. Wow. Mid-range, range, mean. I don't get into the weighted mean, so you don't have to worry about the weighted mean. Okay, so let's get to work. So let's go to our handy dandy spreadsheet. There's our spreadsheet. Now I made the blue, I put the blue a little bit on the light side, so that way the white was just so blinding that I kind of toned it down a little bit with the blue. Is blue a little bit better? I hope it is, because if I make it white, it just kind of blinds you. So here's our 7 test grades. Look at here. N is equal to 7. N is the total number of grades. Now you can be weights, total number of distances, total number of test grades, whatever you want to call it. N is always the total amount. And here is each one. This is X of 1. That's your first test, your second test, your third test, your fourth test, your fifth test, your sixth test, and your seventh test. Sometimes you may see X of 1, X of 2, X of 3, X of 4, and so on. So you need to distinguish between X and N. X is an individual, so you need to write that down. So I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to put X is each individual account. So I like to say test score. In most of my examples, I used a test score. So your Unit 1 test is, the first one, X of 1 is 75. That's X of 1. All my test scores, that's N. N is always your biggest number. Okay? There's 7 test scores. X, each one, X of 1, X of 2, X of 3, each individual. I'm sorry, Miss White. You're making me laugh. You got this look on your face. It looks just like so much excitement. I can only see 2 at one time. Mr. Yates, are you still there? Mr. Yates is quiet.
I'm here.
Okay. I didn't throw a beer bottle in your front yard this weekend. I'll try to do it next weekend, this weekend coming up.
All right.
I do have to ask Mr. Yates, and I'm going to be a little bit nosy. All those vans, what do you do for a living? I'm just curious. You got like 5 or 6 vans in your driveway.
Yeah. He does mobile detailing.
Dealer, are you? You're not selling drugs in your vans, are you? What do you do? Are you a maintenance person? Do you do a lot of maintenance?
Vans. He does mobile detailing.
I'm sorry, what?
He does mobile detailing.
Who does?
My stepdad.
Oh, so those are not your vans.
No, sir. No, sir. I drive a white Honda. So if that's over there,
okay.
that's mine.
Okay. Well, I was confused. Okay. Well, I know there's a lot of vans. I knew it had to be something where you go and do something, either maintenance or, some people do dang old yard maintenance now. You just put everything in a van and do yard maintenance. That's why I was curious. All right. So let's go ahead and let's do all this. Miss White, you need to tone it down, okay? You're a little bit too excited. All right, so here we go. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get my mean. So I'm going to go to the right side over here, and I'm going to type in mean equals, and I'm going to type in median. And y'all, while I'm typing this in, y'all go ahead and be calculating what you can calculate. And use your calculator. Go ahead and calculate these things. Mode, range, mid-range. I'm going to show you how to do this on the spreadsheet. And when I show you how to do it on the spreadsheet, that's basically showing you how to do it by hand. Okay? And then I'm going to show you how to use your calculator. So the mean is the summation of all these numbers right here. So I'm going to add up all those numbers. No, I'm not going to do it that way, though. I'm going to go over here and do it. Summation of all those numbers divided by what? N, which is 7. Now, everybody in here should know how to do that because you have been calculating your grade average for your test since you're probably in the what? 6th, 7th grade. Okay? So everybody knows how to do that. Everybody should have got that number. 84.57143. Now, let's talk about rounding. I usually tell students as a general rule of statistics to keep 4 or 5 digits while you're working problems. Okay? Keep 4 or 5 digits while you're working problems. Why? Because most of the time, the answers will either ask you, for the homework or the test, will either ask you to round to the nearest 10th or the nearest what? 100th. Most of the time. Okay? So with that being said, hold on a minute. I just got a message and I'm trying to get back. There we go. With that being said, 84.57, that is your mean. Median. Median is the calculated. I'm going to go to my handy dandy thing right here, and I'm going to get a new page. And we're going to write down the median. Median. With odd number. When n is odd. When n is odd, you just pick the middle number. Okay? When the median is even, when n is even, you've got to average the 2 middle numbers. We're going to get to that in just a second. Okay, so in this case, n is equal to 7. Is that odd or even? It's odd. So we're just going to pick. We're just going to pick our, and we're going to go down and go 1, 2, 3, boom. I'm going to highlight that yellow for those people that aren't from around here. We pronounce it down here yaller. Y-A-L-L-E-R. And that is equal to, and I do that, I highlight it such a contrast because hopefully you'll make a little note in your mental note and say, hey, n is 7, so I just picked the middle number. Now, these two numbers are very important, so I'm going to highlight them. Verde. Dango Espanol. Dango Verde. And mode, I really don't care about the mode. I'm going to highlight that red. Why? Because that is the only one, and I can't stand that red. I'm not a fan of red, even though I drive a big-ass red truck. I'm not a fan of red, especially writing in red. So, I'm surprised, Mr. Yates, you hadn't seen my big red truck rolling through Meadowwood and, let's see, that's Meadowwood and what? Country Meadows? No, Hope.
Yeah, New Hope and Country Meadows.
Yeah, I drive by there. I make Ingalls runs like 5 or 6 times a day, man.
I'll look out for you.
Yeah, it's pretty loud. I'm not a yee, so I didn't do that on purpose. That was the way I bought it. It's pretty loud. Yeah, yees make me sick. All right, mode. There we go. The mode, is there anything that shows up twice or 3 times? None. So here you don't put 0 because there'll always be some smart aleck teacher that goes, well, 0 is not even in the set. So you have to say none, nairn, non-applicable, there ain't none, there isn't any, whatever. You have to use some kind of letters, okay? Don't put 0, please. Okay? Range. Range is equal to the highest minus the what? Lowest, Hubert. Thank you, class.
It's the lowest.
What did I do? Equals highest minus lowest. There we go. And mid-range is equal to parentheses the highest plus the lowest, or the lowest plus the highest, because you're adding. Doesn't matter. Divided by what? 2. You're taking the average of the highest and the lowest. And that is green. Now, why did I highlight those 3 green? Because if your data is pretty consistent, those 3 numbers are going to be very close together. Look at there. 84.5, 85, 84. See there? Now let's say that Miss Billy, where did Miss Billy go? Is she there? Miss Billy, you still here?
Yes.
Miss Billy, she's the partier student, so she makes bad grades every once in a while. And let's say she made a 43 on the first test and made a 90 on the last test. Look at there. You're starting to see something a little bit different. You got 79 against 85, and then what? 67. So if those 3 numbers don't line up, chances are you got an outlier somewhere. And there would be your outlier. And I'm just going to use this for a second. We'll color that red. That outlier is throwing things out of wampus. And if you don't know what out of wampus is, it's your parents' fault. But out of wampus, you ever been washing towels in the washer? And the towels get on one side of the washer. That's out of wampus. Starts making all kind of racket. Forget it. Mud in your tires. You get mud inside the rim of your tire. Throws the front end out of balance. Out of wampus. Okay. Forget it. Okay. Okay, now we're going to do the variance and the standard deviation. Now, you want the good news or the bad news? I can't even type in the right place.
Good news.
I'll give you the bad news first. The variance and the standard deviation has a formula that looks all complicated. The good news is it's not that complicated, and the variance standard deviation is the square root of the variance. So let's write that. Well, I'm not going to write it down because I'm going to show you the formula. And guess where it is? It's on that sheet. I bet it's on that sheet. There it is. Look there. They don't even show the variance. They just say standard deviation. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite this right here on my handy dandy sheet of paper. And we're going to write it because a lot of standardized tests will ask this one question. The variance is equal to this formula right there under the radical. The summation of x minus x bar quantity squared divided by n minus 1. There's the variance. I want you to write that down. And then the standard deviation is equal to the square root of the what? Of the variance. That's why you see them write sample standard deviation equals the square root of the formula. Okay, all you need to be able to do is find the variance, and then once you find the variance, take the square root of it, and then you have the standard deviation. But you got to read the formula. Why do you need to read the formula? Because sometimes you might get confused. And if you get confused, you need to read the formula. No, don't send an email to Hubert and say, I'm confused, I don't know how to find the variance, because I'm going to just send you an email back that says read the formula. Which one, let's go back to the spreadsheet. What is each one of these numbers called?
Samples.
What?
Are they samples?
Each one is called X. X of
X.
1, X of 2, X of 3. Okay, where do you see X in the formula? There's an X right there. Somebody tell me what X bar is. X bar is another word for the what?
The sample.
Mean. X bar is another name for the mean. So go back to the formula. And what am I supposed to do with each X? I'm pointing at it.
Subtract.
Subtract the what?
Subtract it from the
X.
mean.
Subtract the mean from each what? X. So I'm going to name this column right here X minus X bar. Now this is how you would be doing it in your notebook if you didn't use calculator or spreadsheet. You would be drawing these columns. And I'm going to hit equals 43 minus 79. Now, for those of you that know what F4 does, Fox 4, and any of you that use Excel, Fox 4, the button up above the 4 up there, that locks the cell. Now, if you don't know what the hell I'm talking about, don't worry about it. Okay? And then copy that down. Now, I want everybody in your notebook right now to do the first number, the last number, and the middle number and the last number, so you'll know what to do when you do the homework. Do the first number, in other words, 43 minus 79.71429. Then the 85 minus 79.71429. And then 90 minus 79.71429. You got to do that with each X. Yes, by hand is long and tedious. And that's why I'm showing you the spreadsheet. And I'm going to show you the, what's it called? Stat Crunch. I'm going to show you that. And I'm going to show you the how to use calculator. Go ahead and do the first, the middle, and the last number. And put it outside. Read the formula. X minus X bar. Dang, I went and got my hair cut today. Got there at 7 o'clock in the morning. Dang, ain't no crazy ass people there at 7 o'clock in the morning. I don't go to town after. Very rarely do I go to town after 10 o'clock. That's when all the stupid people go out. Whoopi Goldberg says, maybe it's time for me to leave. Your ass said you were going to leave a long time ago. Why ain't your ass done left? Because of money, that's why. All right. So somebody I'm going to show you this. I'm going to show you this again. This is a trick I learned in the war. Look here. Look at that. Look at that formula. Let's see what we do next. What do we do after we subtract x bar from each x? What do we do? That little number 2 up there. What does that mean?
We square it.
Square it. So this next column is going to be called x minus x bar quantity squared. Now again, I want you to do the first, the middle, and the last. I'm going to do the whole thing for you. You do the first, the middle, and the last, and then tonight when you get home, when you're doing homework, you fill in the rest. And I'm going to go pull up my handy dandy formula again. Oops, not that one. What am I going to do with x minus x bar after I square it? What does that funky looking E mean? Anybody know? Sum. That's actually called sigma. The Greek letter sigma. And it means, in all of statistics, it means add all the numbers up, summation. So I'm going to go down here and I'm just going to hit that box right there and hit sum. I'm going to add all those numbers up. And that is the numerator for your variance. So if I took my sheet right here, I would go, okay, that is 1661.42857 divided by, I'll do this much for you, n minus 1 is 6. This is no joke. I actually have people ask me, where do you get 6? Okay, read the formula. What does the formula say right here? N minus 1. What is our n? 7. 7 minus 1 is 6. So my variance is equal to this number divided by 6. So my variance is equal to 276.9048. 276.9048. Now, if I want to find the standard deviation, I just take the square root of that, or I take the variance and raise it to the 1/2 power, or take the variance and raise it to the 0.5 power. That's the one I do the most. So if you want to follow along with me in the classroom, anytime I take the square root of the variance, I'm going to raise it to the 0.5 power. I'm telling you that now so you won't ask that each time I do it. So I'm going to take 276 and I'm going to raise it, shift 6 to the 0.5 power. And that is my standard deviation. Now we're going to talk about what the heck is a standard deviation. 16.6405. 6405. The only reason I rounded, I was running out of paper. So make sure you ask any questions right now, because we just went through about 2 sections. We're going to do another one here in a minute. It's going to be n is equal to 8. It's not going to change very much except for the median. Question, right, complaint. So what is the standard deviation? The standard deviation is another word for the spread. Now, not the spread gambling term. The spread is basically from the mean. The mean is going to be in the middle of the curve. So our mean is 80. Now, it's very important that you write this down, this next step, because you're going to be doing this throughout the semester. And I'm going to go ahead and write down somebody that's got a book or close to a book. I want you to look up empirical rule. I think it's on page 137 or 37. I think it's on 137. Something like that. It'll have a picture of the bell curve, and it'll have different shades, region, and it'll say 34%. I'll show you what it's going to say. It's going to say 34%, 34%, 13.5, 2.35, and then 0.15, and then 13.5, and then 2.35, and then 0.15. You might have got a page number yet? I may be wrong. I went by memory. I thought it was page 137. It may be 132. It may be
132.
I'm sorry, what?
It's page 132.
Wow. I wish my memory would work that way all the time. Page 132. Now, if on a scale from 1 to 10, with 10 being important, the empirical rule is around number 15. If you don't learn the empirical rule after today, it's going to affect you the rest of the semester. Okay? Now, I'm going to tell people what to do here, and one of y'all are going to do it. The other ones are not. This is what you need to do. I'm going to show you right now. We're going to take a break from here. Take a break from here, and I'm going to pull up Google. And I know some of y'all will do this because some of y'all suffer from LAD. Okay? But I don't know if you're going to do it because you have LAD to begin with, so you might not push all these buttons. So there's about 3 or 4 buttons you have to push, and then you have to print. And that's a lot of work for some of y'all. I'm going to type in normal, and you type in whatever you want to. Normal curve with empirical. And then you hit images. Look there. There's a perfect one right there. Now, why do you think I would get you to print this out? I'd get one with the percentages. Yeah. Why would I want you to print this out? Well, first of all, this is what you would do. You would save this as a picture. Everybody with me? Copy image. And then you pull up the handy dandy word processor. I'm going to save this because I doubt there will be people to even print it out. I'm gonna go ahead and do it for y'all. Okay? As soon as Word pulls up. I did hit it, didn't I? There we go. Now I'm going to do it from a homework perspective. So I'm going to do 2 columns. So I'm going to go to layout. Like I said, there's a lot of work here. So I'm going to do 2 columns. Can you do rows? No, you do rows by, and I'm going to do margin, almost 0 margin. So it's narrow, and I'm going to hit Control V. Look there. It's a miracle. And I'm going to go down. I'm going to go down. That's about 3 on the page, right? Might go here, and I don't know, maybe move it down 1. I want to get 3 to a page. Give me a second. There we go. No, I don't want that. There we go. Maybe move this one up. Maybe move it up one more. There we go. And of course, you can take these over and you can move these down. Is that 3? Well, I guess it's not going to bring the other one. Well, I lost one of them, so I'm going to put it right here. Control V. There we go. And then I'm going to go over here. I'm going to hit Control V, Control V, and Control V, and you play with it. I don't care how you play with it, but I've got it all messed up now. But anyway, y'all, hopefully y'all get the point. Okay? And let me get this fixed. I'm fixing it for y'all. Y'all are welcome. Don't screw it up. Look there. Now, you can also make another page. Go back. All right, I'm on. How can I go to another page now? Can I go columns 1? No. Columns 2. I want to go to the next page. There we go. There we go. And now I'm going to change the columns to 1. Okay. Well, y'all, you might have to do 2 separate pages, and put 3 on a page or 2 on a page for your test. And what does this help you do? You don't have to what? You don't have to draw this curve every single time that you do it. So I'm going to save this for the 2 people that's going to print it out. Notice I said 2. Documents, this PC. I'm just going to call this empirical rule curve. Empirical rule curve. Y'all are welcome. And I'll put that up. I'll put that up at the end of class with the spreadsheet. But down on the bottom here, I'm going to put in pink. What's the standard deviation? What was the standard deviation of our problem? Our standard deviation was, and that's important too, and I'm going to highlight that one a different color because green is important, and we'll highlight that one orange. 16. I'm going to say 17. Okay, I'm going to round because I'm not going to do the decimals. So I'm going to go back to my. Now this is important because somebody's going to ask this question next Thursday. How did you do that? I'm going to add 17 right here, and that's going to give me 90 what? 97. Add 17 again. Somebody help me there. If I add 17 again, what will that give me? Will it give me 104 or 114? Be
114.
One what?
114.
Thank you. So that next one is going to be 114. And then the third one, add 17. And that's 131?
Yes.
So if you, these are test scores. If you scored above 131 on this test, you'd be an outlier. We'll get to that in just a minute. Now, on the right side of the 0, we add. What do we do on the left side of 0 on the number line since the 2nd grade?
Subtract.
You subtract. Thank you, one person that whispered it. And 87 minus 17 is 60 what? 3? Okay, y'all gonna have to help me out because I suck at subtraction. What's 63 minus 17?
46.
Thank you. And 46 minus 17 is what?
29.
All right, so make sure you know how to fill out 3 standard deviations on your bell curve. I'm going to make this big here in just a second so you can see it. That is what the standard deviation does. If you've got a small standard deviation, that's good. Why? Because that means your numbers are close what? Together. A small standard deviation is good. A big standard deviation is usually bad. So this one might be pretty bad. I think because Miss Billy made a 43. I think that's why. I don't know. Let's go back and look at our numbers. Yep, there's that 43. I'm gonna change that 43 back to 80. Or let's not make it an 80. Well, I won't change this one. Let me just go back. Hold on a second. No, I don't want to do that either. Let's just change this to a 79 and change this to a 91. And you see what happened to our 3 numbers. 85, 85, 85. And look at the standard deviation. What did the standard deviation do when I changed those 2 numbers? Did it get bigger or did it get smaller?
It got smaller.
It got smaller because the numbers are what? They're close together. So if you watch, and that's supposed to be orange, if you watch these 4 numbers, they will tell you if your data is tight or if your data is all over the place. All right, let's go back to the picture. This is the empirical rule in a nutshell. Y'all ready? Take your green highlighter and highlight 2 standard deviations. Right there. 95% is considered normal or not unusual. 95% of the population is normal. Now take your yellow highlighter or another color and highlight at 2.35%. And that is called unusual. And this chart, this curve is going to follow you through this whole semester. So if you don't learn it now, you're pretty much going to suck and probably going to fail the class. So you better learn it. And let's take our pink highlighter, which is the closest thing to red that we have, and highlight the 0.15%. Can somebody tell me what 0.15% of the population is? Not unusual, but what? Your Michael Jordans, your Peyton Mannings, your, what's his name, went to Tampa Bay.
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady, your Tiger Woods, your Jack Nicholson, the golfer, okay? What are all those people? How about a 6-foot second grader? Starts with an O.
Original.
Well, that's good, but they're called outliers. So if you scored, if Mr. Yates scored a 26 on these tests, on any of these tests, he would be an outlier. I'm not going to say which side outlier he would be on, but he would be an outlier.
I'll take it you're comparing me to Michael Jordan.
Yeah, exactly. Even though you made a 26 on the test. But if you made a 135 on the test, you would also be an outlier on the positive side. Now, it's very important that you understand what I just drew, because most of you can do the mechanics. Most of y'all can do what I just did. Okay? This is the mechanics. This is what it's telling you. Okay? The colors right here, the 85, the 85, the 85, that tells you that the numbers are close, that there's not a lot of bouncing around. The standard deviation is 4.83. Of course, that's not right. Hold on, this is not, let me go undo. Which one did we have? That 43. There it is. There it is. Okay, that goes with what we got here. Okay? So what have you scored between 46 and 114? Then you can go to your parents and say, well, I'm in the 95th percentile, Mom and Dad, even though I made a 47. I suck, but I suck in relation to the rest of the class. And that's what you need to be able to do. Now, from here on out, when I do a mean and standard deviation problem, we're going to do all of this. Okay, so the next problem I'm going to do, and that we only got, let's see, we've already spent 1 hour. We got another hour, so we're good. Let's go ahead and do one with 8, and I'll put it on the next page. I'm going to leave that up for a minute or two. I'll just move this down. Hold on a second. And I'll bring that back up. Has everybody got that? All right, so here we go. N is equal, let's make it 10. And I'm going to go around and ask y'all for all y'all's weights. How about that? No, I'm kidding. I'll ask for all y'all's ages. How about that? No, we better not do that. We better stick with, let's make up some ages. How about that? Let's go with 18. Oops, I'm sorry. That's 10. Let's go with 18, 19, 20, 20. Let's see, that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 21. I got to lay off this alcohol. 21, 25, and I'm 53. There we go. So there is our 10 numbers. All right, now I want to give you, I'm going to pause, I can't pause this video. That's something I don't understand. They took the pause off the video. So I can't pause the video. They had Skype for Business, they had pause. It's a conspiracy. Damn Russians. It's the damn Russians' fault. What about that? Look at that. Stop recording. You can't pause it. What was that? You got an animal in front of you, Miss White?
Yeah, it's my dog.
Oh God, dogs are stupid. I'm not gonna say anything. Oh my God, she's got one of those dogs.
Yep, he's yappy.
Yeah, there's no way in Hades I would kick it like a football. No, I don't mistreat animals. I just don't like dogs. I like my cats. When the cat wants attention, the cat jumps in your lap. You pet it a few times, and then it says, "Okay, get the hell away from me," and it moves on. Okay.
You piss it off and it pees in your drawer.
No, I don't have cats like that. because I'll punt them like a football. No, they will do that. You just don't piss them off.
My son doesn't understand that.
Well, I don't piss my cats off. All right, y'all get this done. I want you to do me the mean, median, mode, range, mid-range, variance, and standard deviation, and then we'll draw the curve together. And I'm gonna go ahead and put my formula up in case y'all didn't print out that. There's the formula. Y'all had typhoon weather where y'all at?
Pretty close.
Oh gosh, I've been out of the hayfield for 3 or 4 days. It's just sitting there. I can't do anything about it. Mean, median, range, mid-range, variance, and standard deviation. I'll go ahead and do the mode since you don't have to calculate that. The mode is 20, isn't it? Yeah. I'm going to put that in red text because that's observed. You do not calculate the mode. You just look at it. Now, if there was another 19, then you would put 19, 20. But since the 20 is the one that shows up the most, that is your mode. While y'all are doing that, I'm going to call the roll. I think everybody's pretty much here that's here. If Tri-County text page will not say no assertions found. Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We got 10 people here today. That means we got 8 here. I think we got 24. I don't know. Might have had a lot of people drop. All right, Billy's here. Chinvert. No Chinvert. Flores Espinosa. No Flores Espinosa. Maybe they've taken an extra holiday. Hall. Hall. Y'all have y'all's microphones on? Hall. Herring.
Here.
Good job. Howard.
Here.
King.
Here.
Osorio.
Here.
Is that Osorio? Am I pronouncing that correct?
Yeah, that's right.
What origin is that? I was going to say Italian.
I think it's like Colombian or
Colombian.
something. Yeah.
That's neat. Miss Smith is here. She's on quiet because I think she's got her kids. I can't remember. Sprouse. Mr. Sprouse. Sweat. Miss Sweat.
I'm here.
Okay, Miss White is here. Settle down, Miss White. Miss Woodward is here. Mr. Yates is here. Mr. Young. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 15 in the class. All right. So
Looks like there's another storm a brewing outside.
Oh, great. That's all we do need is more rain. And I don't have Thursday. Did we have class Thursday?
No.
Okay, so I got to put something. So I'll just say all y'all were here. Let's see. That's the 21st. I don't know what Thursday, we don't hear that day, or Thursday the 14th.
You said you have bridge at Bison.
Yeah. I thought I turned that already in. Thank you, Miss Billy. Okay, now I got y'all up to date. All right, so here we go. Mean. Well, we're going to take our submission. We're going to auto sum all these numbers and divide by how many? 10? I didn't hit the division symbol. I multiplied by 10. Sorry. I got 23.3. Is that what y'all got? Median.
Yeah.
Well, the median, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to do 5 and 10 right there. Highlight those. That's my middle. So you got 4 numbers up, 4 numbers down. So I'm going to, and I do know, I got several degrees. I do know that the average between 20 and 20 is 20. But I'm going to go through and say equals, parentheses, the first number, because they're not always going to be the same number, plus the second number, divided by 2. I actually had a student one time said, I didn't add those two together. I just average of 20 and 20 is 20. And I said, God, you're smart. All right. Range is the highest minus the what? Lowest. And the mid-range is equal to parentheses, the lowest plus the highest, or the highest plus the lowest. Doesn't matter. 2 plus 3 is the same as 3 plus 2. And I can't type and chew gum at the same time. Parentheses. Okay, just let me do that again because parentheses, highest, lowest plus the highest divided by 2. And if you noticed, the mean the median is going to be that orange. I'm going to cover that. And the mid-range, they out of Wampus. But let's just change my age right there. Change that to 26. And look what happens to the 3 numbers. 21, 20, 22. to change my age back to 53, and it gets out of wampus again.
I love you, baby.
What? Is that a question? Okay, so how do we find the other stuff? Well, the mode, how many showed up? We said 20. The range, we did the mid-range, or did we? Did we do the range and the mid-range? Now let's do the variance and the standard deviation. So the variance, we got to say x minus x bar. So x minus 23.3, and I'm going to lock that F4. Enter. I'm going to copy that down. You do the first, middle, and last. And then what do we do with that? We square it. Equals this number raised to the second power. That's not right. This number raised to the second power. Copy that down. And then we add those numbers up. And that is the numerator for my variance. So equals this number divided by, what's 10 minus 1? 9.
That's a hard one, but I'm gonna say 9.
Yeah, there you go. And equals this raised to the 0.5 power. All right. So I'm gonna pull up my handy dandy whiteboard document cam. And we're going to draw a curve. Now, I want y'all to remember, when you're doing this with your homework and test, make sure you keep the variable, keep the decimals in there, depending on what they're asking for. I'm going to say the mean is 23 because I'm not going to do those decimals in my head, and I'm not doing it. 34, 34, 13.5, 13.5, 2.35, 2.35, and 0.15. And yes, you should know all that. Now, what do we do on the right side of 0? Add or subtract?
Add.
Add. So I'm going to add 11. So my standard deviation is 10.62. And I'm not going to fool with decimals because I'm showing y'all how to do it. You do the decimals in your calculator. So 23 plus 11 is 34. Plus 11 is 45. Plus 11 is 56. Y'all check my math, please. 23 minus 11 is what? 12? Hell, I don't know. 12?
It's 12.
12 minus 11 is 1. 1 minus 11 is negative 10. Now, of course, you can't have negative 10 years old, so that's kind of just, that shows you that the data is skewed again. If I was to put a 26 right here, let's see what happens to the standard deviation. 26, watch that standard deviation. It goes from 11 to what? 3. So you see the numbers do tell you a story. You just got to be smart enough to know what they're telling you. It's kind of like having a conversation with a person that's on a different level. You got to, the numbers are telling you something. You just got to be on their level. So let's take our highlighter. And 95% of the population is going to be between 1-year-old and 45 years old. And that is called normal. 95% by the empirical rule is normal. And then between 1 and -10 is unusual, and between 45 and 56 is unusual. And then we'll go with this funky looking yellow. Outlier is, sorry. So there's your outlier. So if you walk into the classroom and you're 60 years old, then that means you're an outlier. So when you're doing 3.1 and 3.3 homework, should you, if it gives you a list of numbers and it says find the mean, should you just find the mean, or should you find everything that I've done today?
All of the above.
All of the above. You should, every problem you do from here on out in chapter 3, you should find every number and draw this. If you want to do good in the future, that's what you need to be doing. Okay? Now, let's talk about the 5-number summary. Now, this is not that hard. So I'm going to write down the 5-number summary right here. The 5-number summary gives way to your box plot. And we're going to do Z Thursday. I'm not going to do Z today. 5-number summary. The 5-number summary gives you the box plot. And there will be 3 or 4 questions on the test asking you for a 5-number summary and a box plot. 5-number summary consists of the min, the max, the median, and then the first quartile, and the third quartile. Now, before we talk about the 5-number summary, let's go back to the curve. And from here on out, I want you to read this curve as your fuel indicator on your car. Let's use red. You know I don't use red. Which way do we read left? Which way do we read in America?
Left to right.
Left to right, unless you're from the Middle East, Masalama, you don't read right to left. You read from left to right. So what is on this end of your fuel tank on the left side? Dang old what? Empty. What's right here? Okay, I'm asking y'all to converse with me. It's not rhetorical. Quarter of a tank. Okay, now this is a lot of thinking here. What do you think is right there?
I'm going to go at a long shot and say a half tank.
Yep. And what do you think goes right in there? 3/4 of a tank. Now, and I'm going to go right here and put full. This right here is your first quartile. This is your second quartile. This is your what? Third quartile. It's also called, and I'm going to take out the blue pen, the first quartile is also called the 25th. Anybody got a Anybody know what I'm going to put next to the 25th? Percentile. The second quartile is equal to the 50th what? Percentile. And the 3/4 or the third quartile is called the 75th percentile. And I'll give you one more good thing. Guess what the second quartile is? The median. Now, a lot of people are saying, well, why is it the median on the 5-number summary and the mean on the curve? Well, we're dealing with two different animals. We're dealing with the curve, that's a different animal, and then the 5-number summary is a different animal because it's a box plot. That's why. Curve uses the mean, the box plot uses the median. Now you want to talk about some lost puppies. If I didn't show you the empirical rule and tell you how important the empirical rule is, and then talk about the percentiles, you'd be totally lost when you got to 3.4 or 3.5, whichever section this is in. You're welcome. So the mean is pretty much, let's take for instance this first problem. We're going to go to the first, no, let's go to the second problem because it's got more numbers. And it's kind of hard to have a 5-number summary with 5 numbers. So we're going to go with the 10. So I'm going to color the mean pink. And, nope. So that means I'm going to highlight my mean number pink. There's my, and I'm going to highlight there. Oh, that's a pretty pink too. All right, so there's my pink. There's your mean. So mean is equal to 18. Now that's very difficult now. I hope y'all can handle that. Equal to 18. My orange, that's pretty simple. Orange is the median. And I've already got that highlighted yellow, I mean orange. So that's equal to 20. And what do you think your max is? 53. We'll color the max this highlighted blue. So we're going to color that. We'll have to color it a little bit dark blue. Let's go with that. Aqua blue. There we go. Equals 53. I'm trying to do 2 things at one time, so y'all just bear with me, okay? You know, men can't do this very well. 53.
You said it.
You said it. Sounds just like a wife. You said it. I didn't. No, we suck at it because men are just overwhelmingly, stupidly predictable. Women are like the wiring harness of a 68 Mustang. One wire going this way, one wire going this way, 1,000 wires not attached to anything, 2 wires going together, 3 wires going into one place. That's why when a woman goes shopping, it's like a constant maze. And when a man goes shopping, it's like a straight line in, a straight line out. No comments, Mr. Yates?
I agree with you.
Yeah, there you go. I agree. All right. So what's the first quartile? Well, you got to find the median of the median. Now, watch what I do here. I'm going to put my cursor where the median is. The median is between those two 20s right there. Now make sure you make a note of that. I'm going to put right here in red. 20 is between the two 20s. Now you got to make sure you understand that. How many numbers are above my cursor? Well, let's count. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is 5 odd or even?
Odd.
So you pick the middle number. You're picking the median of the median. I'm picking the median of the top 5 numbers. And I'm going to highlight that. And we're going to highlight it. I'm running out of colors. Let's go with that salmon. I'm sorry, salmon. S-A-M-M-O-N. S-A-M-M-O-N, salmon. Yeah. You don't pronounce the L, I'm sorry. So I'm going to highlight that with my salmon color. I don't think I had a salmon, did you? There's a salmon. Salmon. And that's equal to 19. Sorry. There we go. And then, how many numbers are on the bottom half? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 21 is my third percentile. And I'm going to highlight that. I'm just going to highlight that in gray, if y'all don't mind. No, I don't have a gray. So let's go with a lavender. Squidward likes lavender. I can't. My lavender ain't coming out. I can't find a good lavender. That's about the best I can do. I'm sorry. And here's my lavender. And that's equal to 21. Y'all got it? All right, so we've done our 5-number summary. That's how you do the 5-number summary. Now we're going to do the box plot. The first thing you do with a box plot, draw a number line. So here's my number line. And it's going to consist of 18 as the min, and 53 as the max. And what's in the middle? The mid-range. And in this case, what is our mid-range? 36. Yes, Hubert. You're right, Hubert. Thank you, class. Y'all suck. 36. So I've just used the min, the max, and the mid-range. So what's left? What's the only thing that's left? The 3 numbers for your box. But we can't do those yet because we haven't graduated our number line. So your second thing, graduate the number line. Y'all remember chemistry? What's graduated cylinder mean? It means put marks on the side of the, it has a cylinder with marks on the side so you can what? So you can measure stuff. Thank you, class. What's half of 18? 9. What's 9 plus 18? 27. So 27 is in the middle. And I'm just finding the middle of the middle of the middle. What's 9 plus 36? 45. 18 to 27 is 9. What's half of 9? 4.5. 4 plus 18 is 22. 31. 40. And what am I doing? I'm adding 4, so that'd be 49. Okay, now I've graduated my number line. Now I do the box plot. So where's my peach or my salmon? My salmon is 19. There's my box at 19. My median is 20. So orange is 20. And my third quartile is 21. And there is my box plot. And I'm just going to draw a black line here to make my box. There we go. And that says that our data or our data looks a little bit skewed right. Skewed right is when all of your numbers are on the left. Why are all our numbers on the left? Somebody tell me. This is where you have to use your critical thinking. Why are all the numbers on the left? Come on, you can do it. Y'all are smart people.
Most of them are at the same part in the line.
I didn't understand the word you just said. What'd you say?
Most of them are at the same part in the line.
Yeah, but what's not?
53.
So my age screwed it up.
Way to
If
go,
you put
Hubert.
that 53 in here, that makes everything be what? To the left, because all your numbers are where? They're down here compared to the 53. But if I change that to another number like 26, then you're going to start to see. If I change that to a 26, you would start to see this. You would start to see a curve, a normal curve. Skewed right, it means all the data is on the left. Skewed left means all the data is where? On the right.
On the right.
Okay, so that's a box plot. Question, great, complaint. All right, now I want you to do a box plot for the one we did with 7. So I want y'all to do this one. And it may be a little bit cramped because you're only dealing with 7 numbers, but the procedure is the same. I'll put it back up in just a second. I'm just making sure I don't want to go over 235. That's what I thought. Okay. I just don't want to go over. I don't want some of y'all to start like convulsing. So there is the 7 numbers. I'll put the 5 number summary right here. Men, first quartile, second quartile, third quartile, and max. Max is equal to the high one. Min is equal to the low one. And the second is equal to the median. So I can go ahead and draw my number line. And somebody look on in your 3.4 and 3.5 and tell me which one in the book, and tell me which one has the z-score and which one has the 5-number summary in it, in the box plot. Just look through the book and tell me while I'm drawing a number line. Oh, man.
5-number summary is 3.5.
Okay. 5-number summary and box plot is 3.5. So y'all can work on 3.5 homework after this. Don't do 3.4 yet, because 3.4 I think is z-scores, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so don't do that. We'll do that Thursday. 43, 90, and 85. Okay. Wait a minute. Is that right? 43 to 90 is 120. I don't feel right. Okay, I guess it is. No, it can't be right. Oh, it is because, okay, I'm sorry. All right, so, no, that ain't right. Oh, mid-range. Sorry, 67. I knew something wasn't right. Mid-range. Okay, so let's see. Halfway between 43 and 67 is what, 24, right? Yeah, 24. Half of 24 is 12, so that's going to be 65. 12 from 90 is 78. And then half of 12 is 6, right? So that's going to be 49.
Hubert, all I see is the Excel. Are you doing the whiteboard thing?
I'm sorry. Y'all going to have to help me out. What's 12 plus 43? That's supposed to be 55, isn't it? 55. Yeah.
That's right.
And half of that'd be 49. That looks better. And 6 would be 61. 6 would be what? 73. 6 would be 84. That looks pretty good for a number line. Okay, so I just drew my number line. All I did was use the min, the max, and the mid-range. And then I graduated it. Now let's do our 5-number summary. Right now, that number right here is the middle. So how many numbers do we have above 85?
3.
So we just picked the middle, which is 80. So I'm going to highlight that for a day. And that's going to go right here. And that's equal to that number. I'm about ready to quit. Equals. Okay, and we're going to do this number. And I'm going to color that one blue. Well, I got a blue background, so that sucks. Let me color it. Whew. That's lavender. Equals 90. And that's lavender. So here we go. Let's draw our box. Let's take our handy dandy whiteboard. And our green is going to be 80. And our lavender is going to be 90. And our middle is going to be 85. And that is our box plot. And in this case, it's skewed left because all the data is where?
On the right.
On the right.
On the right. So this is skewed left. So after today's class, you should be able to do 3.1, 3.2, and 3.5. Now remember, if you have a problem and they tell you to find whatever of 7, I would do everything. If you do everything, then you're going to be okay. Now let me show you right quick how to do this on your calculator. So I need everybody that's got a calculator to get the calculator out. And here is the calculator. And what you're going to hit is you're going to hit stat. And when you hit stat, you're going to hit enter at the edit. And there's your spreadsheet. Now, I don't know who put all those in there, but I didn't put them in there. So I'm going to hit clear. L1. Let me go up to hit clear. Hold on a second. Go up to L1. If you got something in there, and hit clear. And enter. There we go. All right, now I'm going to type in 10 numbers. And I'm just going to type in something simple. 2. Taking me forever on this thing. 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Is that 10? I think that's 10, isn't it? Yeah. Oops, that's a 2, not a 10. I suck.
You have a work email.
Shut up. Good. I want to do, because I'm using the keyboard on, don't use keyboard if you're using the mouse. Shut up, Hubert. All right, everybody got that? Now, watch this. Stat, calculate, first variable stat, enter, and make sure it says L1. L1 says first column, and hit calculate. There it is. So the X bar is 9.9. SX is equal to 6.8. That's your standard deviation. And there's your 5 number what? Summary. There's the mean, there's the first quartile, there's the median, there's third quartile, and there's the max. So now you can draw your box plot. You can actually go, I'm going to show you a trick I learned in the war. Hit second, y is equal. Hit enter to turn it on. Hit on, hit enter. And then do box plot. I'm going to move over and do the box plot, which is the fourth one over. 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth one over. And I'm just going to do L, hit clear, and graph. Okay, I got to have 2 sets. It wasn't, why wouldn't it let me do it? It should let me do it, but that, it should do the box plot. Hold on a second. Why won't it let me do the box plot? I don't know why it won't let me do the box plot. Second, y is equal. We'll try it again. On. Oh, number 5 is on, I think. Let me go down to number 5 and turn that off. I don't think that's supposed to be on. Well, don't worry about it. Okay, L1, enter. Type, box plot. Maybe I didn't hit the enter button. There it is. I didn't hit the enter button. When you go to the box plot, you got to hit enter, dumb butt, and hit graph. Okay. It don't like this, so hit this. Hit zoom, and there should be statistic on here. Hit quit. Hit zoom, and stat is number 9. And it's still doing it. Does y'all's work? Because this calculator is kind of goofy.
Yes, sir. Mine's working.
Okay. I think it's just calculator. All right. So that's how you use your calculator. How do you use the, one more thing. I did save this, right? Yeah, empirical rule curve. One more thing. When you go to, let's go to 3.1. Hold on a second. I'm trying to find y'all's class. Assignment. This 3 point, I told you it's 3.2, isn't it? 3.2. Come on. 3.2. I'm just going to pick a question to see if I got stat plot. I mean, what's it called? Stat crunch. Okay, go to Stat Crunch. And Stat Crunch will come up, and Stat Crunch is just a glorified spreadsheet. And you can type in some numbers. And if I can use it, I don't use it that much because to me, it's like reinventing the wheel. So I'm going to type in 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. And then I'm going to go to Stat, Summary Statistics column, and I'm just going to type in variable 1 and hit compute. Look over there. Somebody check my standard deviation in your calculator. Was it 6.06? Yes or no? That's all right. I'll pull it up. I have to ask for y'all to interact with me, and I know y'all don't like to do that. So.
It was. I had to go
Thank
back
you.
and check it.
I appreciate it. All right, somebody check the first quartile. First quartile is 6. The median is 11, and the third quartile is 16. Somebody check
Yes,
that in your calculator.
That's right.
So you can use the Stat Crunch. If you get in a bind, you can use it on your test or whatever. Okay? All right. I'm in your homework. On the test, I just limit it. I do let you use I think I'll let you use Stat Crunch. I'll have to look. We'll talk about that when we go over the test. Okay, so you should be able to do 3.1, 3.2, and 3.5 homework. Start working on it. Miss Sibilia, I haven't forgot your questions, so probably go over those Thursday after I get a few more questions, okay? Any questions today?
No, sir. I accidentally clicked like share screen, by the way, so I'm sorry.
I didn't even see that. All right, y'all get out of here and have a good day, and I will see y'all tomorrow, which is Thursday.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.
See ya.